Welcome to Rural Concerns, a podcast about countryside affairs and inner-city vape shops.
I'm Chris Cantrell and I live in a rural community.
I'm Sunil Patel and I live in a high-rise flat in London.
I'm producer James and I live in a well-to-do cul-de-sac because my wife works very hard.
Big shout out to the wives, keeping this whole shebang going. Right, James.
Yeah?
Sorry for my tone. That was quite a forceful tone. I've had a mad week.
That's all right. You warned us you were coming in hot.
I'm coming in hot today. I'm excited. We're doing a tight record because I'm doing a village pub quiz with my friend. I have an official friend called Dave. How do I know he's my friend? I'm drawing him a leak tattoo design.
James, can you turn down Chris's volume a bit?
No, Sunil, this is just a normal adult man volume. This is what adult men talk like. I've turned it down on my mic, so this is just you.
Yeah, I'm saying for me, I've got you loud and James normal.
I am shouting though. I do have to acknowledge that.
He is shouting. He is clearly Can you turn your mic down then if you're going to shout?
I'm not going to shout. I'm not okay.
You are though. You are shouting.
I didn't want to take the wind out of your sails, but you did come in really hot there.
Oh, this setting adjusts how loudly others hear, name redacted. It only affects the live call and not the recording. Yes, I can turn him down, Sunil.
Do you know what I need to do? I think what I've done on my mic is turn you two down. Do you know what I need to do? I need to read the settings for this mic. I need to watch a YouTube video. That's it. I won't do it though. I won't do it.
Who's your new mate?
Dave.
Come on, you've made that up.
Yeah, that's a made-up name. Do we not know him because he goes to a different school?
He goes to a different school. He's from Canada. He's a model. He's a model in Canada. No, he dyes textiles.
Why?
Because someone needs to. Otherwise, you're just getting a lot of plain beige-coloured cloth. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Okay, that's a good point.
So he's like a textiles worker. His wife is like also Northern Irish, like my wife, which is like there's a percentage of Irish people in this village that is high.
What are you drinking there, Chris? Is that a stout or a iced coffee?
Well, when we're recording this, it's Friday night. I got a quiz looming. I've been gigging all week. I've been away. This is a gentleman's Friday night Guinness. Do you know, and apparently they're rationing Guinness in the UK because the bloody TikTokers.
Is that an accent? Was that an accent or is that your voice?
That's my actual voice.
Okay.
The bloody TikTokers.
Whoa, what is that? No,
That's my voice. These bloody TikTokers. They've got onto Guinness. They've just discovered it. And they're doing that thing where they split the G.
Yeah, what is that? What is split the G?
I don't know. You have to drink it in one. Do you know what right? I think it is. I'm not going to research it because that would kill the vibe. And this is a vibes-based podcast.
And you don't want to give any more likes to those bloody TikTokers.
Those bloody TikTokers. You've got a pint of Guinness and it's got the Guinness logo on. And apparently it's like a challenge to drink enough Guinness in one mouthful to get the Guinness line within the G on the glass, and it's called splitting the G.
Right, a couple of big gulps then.
No, like as in it has to be like one. That's why it's a bit of a challenge.
So you raise it to your lips and you can't bring it down. When you bring it down, it has to split the G.
It has to split the G. That's it. So that's why it's become this thing. Apparently it's become so big with these guys, the TikTokers, which means that they're rationing it into the UK. Because the sales are going too mad.
It's terrible news for bar people as well. Because when I worked in a bar, if loads of people ordered a Guinness, I'd be fucked. I'd be absolutely fucked.
Yeah, it feels like on a busy day you don't want to take the piss, but
yeah, we only had 1 or 2 taps of Guinness.
It's like it's a busy, normalish bar and people ask for a cocktail. Like, come on.
Only if we've got it on tap.
This is not mojito season.
Have you seen the espresso martini on tap?
In Wetherspoons, yeah.
I had a day in a Wetherspoons the other day. Lovely. Table service, any drink you want.
Are we talking the full? Are we talking the 10 o'clock through to about? No.
Espresso martini at 10.
That was a challenge that was mooted back when. Do you remember Glenn Moore was doing these day-long challenges of watching Fast and Furious all day?
This has a whiff of a pandemic having a tough time in lockdown.
No, it was before that. It was before that. But yeah, we did moot an entire 10 till 10 stint in Wetherspoons, a 12-hour stint, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
When we went out to Wetherspoons for Amy's birthday, when I was down, and we were in Wetherspoons, and she did that thing where she put on the table number of where we were, and basically people started ordering stuff to the table.
It lasted 15 minutes until a staff member came up and said, please don't tell me you've put the number on social media.
Yeah, and Amy went, no, and she deleted it straight away. But, up until that point, we had like a big plate of onion rings, which was okay, and like a single boiled egg. And you're like, well, no, Sunil like the egg. But you could see the look in their face when they were like miserable.
Was it due to protein gains? So no.
Yeah, for me, I was like, it's 10:30 p.m. on a Sunday night. Need to get that protein in me.
It's all about the gains.
That sounded more sexual than it needed to be.
So, but Chris, can't we harness the power of these bloody TikTokers? Can't we do a thing where it's like, listen to the podcast? You've got to listen to the podcast.
On TikTok's getting banned anyway, I thought, isn't it?
I'd rather that than me struggle with it. I'd rather it was banned for everybody.
Yeah, can they ban the stuff I don't understand, please?
Yeah, I have no idea where to start with it. Let's just get it off the table.
Feels like that's a slippery slope.
I've started it. I've got Blue Sky. I've got Threads. I don't understand what's happening on either of them. I just put stuff on.
Absolutely. Also, can you ban like car insurance as well? Because I don't get that either.
I don't understand that. Car insurance. I can't think about. There's a lot of stuff I find confusing. I've got a pension.
Yeah.
Well done.
Late in the game.
He's. You can tell he's had a Guinness, can't you?
He's off a Guinness.
I haven't even split the G. I've had 2 sips.
It's also in a tumbler. It's not even in a pint glass.
We don't have pint glasses. But what we do have is 2 new carpets in the living room.
Tell us everything.
What colour? Pink?
Thickness.
Right. The one in the living room, we've sort of gone whole hog. As in, we've got expensive underlay. And it's sort of like 80-20, but it's not 80-20. It's like a heavy duty, high footfall type wool little weave type thing. Like you would get in a hotel almost.
At how many points during the order process did you want them to ban carpets?
What do you mean?
I already don't understand what you're talking about. 80-20. Sounds like a rug.
That's a blend, I think, of the type of... To be honest with you, this is the time of year where I'm largely not present in the household. Mentally, I'm checked out. I'm doing my radio series and I need to be left to write little sketches in the lot. So Nicola is largely doing a lot of the house stuff. I, crucially, as discussed last time, have paid for the carpet, and I thought that'd let me off the hook. So she sorted it all out. So the carpet, I haven't been here for it being, I've just come home to it. And then my reaction to it I think she wanted me in tears, like tears of wonder.
Did she film your reaction for TikTok?
Middle-aged man cries at carpet.
Splits his G.
Middle-aged homeless man given new carpet.
She's also sorted out the arrival of the piano.
Ooh.
And I need to pick my words very carefully in this section because we had a big bust up a few weeks back which involved the phrase, "You hate the piano."
Whose piano is it and which one of you play piano?
It's Nicola's piano. This was a height of lockdown thing. This was a lockdown madness. And then basically we had this piano. It was in this B&B where we were staying for like months, but then we couldn't move it. And basically the B&B became a B&B again. So the piano was like held hostage by the guests to the B&B, and we had nowhere to put it because we were in this barn.
Did they have a non-stop knees up?
Yeah. So it became, you'd hear them banging it and stuff and you'd hear it overnight.
You'd think it would finish and you'd go to get, and then ding, 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 knees up.
Little tinkly, like a man in a saloon.
Is it a proper piano or is it electric?
Proper piano. Needs tuning now. So the piano was sorted out today. The piano's in the house. And I was like getting in front of it. And the cynicism that's been leveled at me, I was like, yay, the piano's here.
Does sound like you hate the piano.
No, I don't hate the piano.
Just don't understand it and want it banned.
By the sounds of it, you need to fill that house with stuff. You got a lot of space.
Well, as I'm adding stuff now, I'm recording this. I've recorded the last few shows here. Suddenly we got carpet. Suddenly there's a bit less bounce to it.
There is, isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah. This is it. So like we talked about before, this is marginal gains. Every episode, every time, it's like filling up, and eventually the attic of this house is going to be basically a little semi-soundproofed studio, which is going to be crystal clear.
Semi-soundproof.
Well, as in, it's like basically it's in the attic next to the roof, so as much as you soundproof it, will be victim to the elements in terms of the wind and stuff. You can't fully take that stuff out in that environment.
It's like if you had a submarine that was semi-watertight, it either is or it isn't. You know what I mean?
But it'll mostly be much better because it'll have like the cushioning. Do you know what I mean? I do
mostly much better.
I do take that point. Let me wrap up one more bit of countryside business and circle back on Dave.
Oh yeah, your friend. I've got some more questions on this anyway.
Dave, my friend, he's my new friend.
What's his trade? He's not a tradesman.
He's a textile dyer.
And you didn't employ him to dye your textiles?
He does that there, does he, in the village?
No, he does it in a factory somewhere. He does that, and he works in his factory where his wife works, who designs. She's like a designer of textile patterns, and they live over the road. So we're just sort of chatting. But now we're in a WhatsApp group called the Leek Club because we've committed to growing leeks.
I did want to also follow up on leek statuses.
You would be shocked how little chat there is about leeks in the Leek Club WhatsApp group. It's very non-leek focused.
What's the picture?
Picture of a leek.
And then the chat is non-leek stuff.
Chat's slacking people off and having a laugh at that. Do you know what I mean? Classic. Classic
like
encrypted lads bants chat.
It should just be called Rural Concerns.
Just to know I'm bringing him in. But he's got loads of tattoos. So he's getting basically he's got an arm that he's filling with little pictures and like he's got his daughter's done one. He's got like one from different people. Do you know what I mean? He's like filling his arm out. So he was like, basically I've been invited to draw, which because Nicola was like, oh, Chris does loads of drawing. So he was like, could you draw me a leek?
No, not your drawings. No,
Six-titted leek.
It's not going to have 6 tits. I've never done that, Sunil. This is said. A lot of people are talking about this now and asking me.
You've drawn it already, though, haven't you? You've drawn a 6-titted leek.
No,
you've done it already on paper somewhere, haven't you? Has it got a face or just the tits?
I don't know. This is what I need to figure out.
Is it where the leaves come down? You know, they sort of come down in a V. Is it like pulling it open to reveal its 6 tits?
Why can't you do a nice sort of countryside scene like a Turner or something like that?
Well, we sort of bonded by the Leek Club, of which we've done no work yet. So I was like, I said I'll do it, but we have to do some leek stuff. We have to do this. 2, I said we can't fall out. It'd be if he's got a tattoo, that I've drawn,
you're bonded for life,
and that's like that'd be a shame to fall out in a bitter boundary dispute, wouldn't it? A few years down the line.
But shouldn't you also get a tattoo to make sure the bond is strong rather than one-sided?
I don't know. I'm unadorned. I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah, but you may as well start now.
Have you got a tattoo, Sunil?
No, I got no tattoos.
James?
No.
Are we 3 untattooed boys?
Non-tattooed boys.
Non-tattooed boys.
I used to have a bit when I used to do stand-up about it, but mostly it genuinely is because I don't believe in my own taste enough to have a tattoo.
Yeah.
Too faddy.
I think it has to be. I've got, it'd be nice to get something done for something that is important to you, but it's hard, isn't it?
There's something that you might forget enough that you need to have it written down on you. So it's quite important, but there's a chance you'll forget it.
No, because people do their kids' names, don't they?
Just in case.
I don't know how to change the password on the Wi-Fi router.
Well, it's not memento, is it? You don't need a tattoo to remember stuff.
So why are you doing it?
Just for a laugh, isn't it? Have an 8-titted leek on you. And then people would be like, what is that?
All down your bod, just 6 more tits on your body.
I get a Volvo V70 across my chest.
the engine schematic. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
The inside of the Hayes manual,
Yeah.
like Memento style, catalytic converter.
So, what have you two been up to?
Well, James hasn't really noticed, has he?
I have.
Oh, you have noticed.
What have you noticed?
Well, Sunil tends to have the lower part of his face right down at the bottom of the thing, but he's really trimmed his beard right back. What number are we talking here? That's numbered now. It used to just be like the numbers would have been centimeters before.
Yeah, this is a 3, I think. Yeah, so this is the first time I've seen bare skin on my chin since 2012, I think. It's a bit concerning how I forgot I didn't really have a chin.
You do?
Yeah, but it's not.
There you go. There's a point. There's
I've got a head like a ball. What are you talking about? Look.
There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with symmetry. And the human brain is like the human brain responds well to something that is perfectly symmetrical. Like this is
normally it's left-right symmetry, isn't it?
You've got northern, southern hemisphere symmetry.
I've also been on holiday to Vienna and Porto.
1, 2, 3.
Holiday report. So, just been busy, you know.
That is busy. 2 places.
Christmas markets in Vienna, port distilleries in Porto. So I've been drinking a lot.
These sound like fact-finding missions.
Yeah. What facts am I finding, though?
Well, just like you're going around Porto making places. Like, I think the Christmas markets are a very Germanic thing. They're going to be coming, like, Austria's got to be like the origin.
Oh, yeah. I never knew they were here recently.
It's like Halloween. I don't really buy into it.
No, apparently so Bath, where I'm going to be at Christmas, has got one, and it's apparently really famous now. I don't remember it being around when I was a kid, but it's a huge
this
thing
new
now.
thing.
They used to have them when I lived in Manchester. Dreadful.
Whereabouts in Manchester was it?
All over. It's like a famously huge Christmas market. It takes over the entire city centre. My casual observance of it is that it's an influx of traders that basically it would look like it brings people to the area. But what I highly suspect is happening is that it takes from independent traders that would be in Manchester, and basically it always looks like a lot of wank to me. You know, like these wooden. There's always like a stall. You've got Glühwein, £4, a little tiny thimbleful plus £3 for a glass deposit. You got that going on. You've got like all this like you've got like wooden, like garden furniture. And there's always a bit with like garden furniture, and it just looks.
They're selling garden furniture in December.
Yeah, they're selling like wooden. There's always a guy that's selling like wooden chairs. But what I don't think we get in here is it seems like a big industry masquerading as individual stall holders. I don't know how to describe it more than that.
Yeah, the Vienna ones, they're vetted, and they have to go through a selection process, and it all has to be like made by them. It can't just be like imported tat.
Did you buy anything?
Yes, I bought some Glühweins, a number of them.
Case rattling like it's full of quids.
And I got a Christmas decoration of Santa on some skis that cost me. I didn't really understand the figures there, but it was too much.
Does he have a doobie?
He doesn't have a doobie, but I could easily get one and put it in his mouth.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, those are my holiday facts. Do you want to know where you should go on holiday?
Yeah, give us some recommendations.
Porto, very good, very cheap as well. Stayed in a lovely hotel. It's also got, I didn't manage to go, but it's got possibly, I've seen the photos, the most beautiful McDonald's I've ever seen. Stained glass and all that, and mirrors and that.
Okay.
I also had a big sandwich that afterwards I had to, it was in the afternoon, but I had to go home to the hotel, turn the air conditioning on and take my trousers off.
And that was recently?
It was quite warm though. It was about 20 degrees, but the sandwich, 2,000 calorie sandwich, right? We're talking bread, 3 types of meat, cheese and gravy.
Gravy. Baguette?
No, two slices of thick bread.
2 slices of thick bread, and it's 2,000 calories.
Anyway, that's my holiday report.
Good holiday report. Do we need a sting for... Should we go back and have put in a sting for holiday report?
So no, can you, after 3, can you say holiday report? 1, 2, 3.
Holiday report.
Yeah, there you go. It's got enough to work with there.
You bumped the mic a little bit.
I bumped the mic, but you can isolate my audio and just have him say, just put the vodka
Just
in.
have you go 1, 2, 3, donk.
That reminds me of where I remember going on a holiday to Skiathos for 7 days with my mates. And my mate Dan drank so much one day that he was out of commission for the entire following day, from dusk until dawn.
At that age?
Wasn't we were in his 20s, but he's a lovely lad. I think he's got like an overactive thyroid or something like that, you know? But it really knocked him out.
He's got a big neck.
Thyroid.
Has he got dropsy? Is he from Victorian times?
There's something going on with him where he can't, he like it hit him like, he's only little, it hit him like a truck. On a 7-day holiday to lose one full day, I remember thinking, you bloody idiot.
Yeah. What was there to see in the daytime?
Nothing. It was this Greek island, so it was just Greek stuff. But they're very nice. I've always wanted to go back ever since. It was like, as a younger man.
Sorry, what is Greek stuff? What's Greek stuff?
Like, nice, clear water, beaches. What's going on there? Some olives. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like a nice little tourist. It's one of the Greek islands, and I loved it. And as a younger man, I think I wasn't necessarily built for holidays because I can't relax properly, you know, just sitting. But as I've got older and life's got more hectic, I've definitely now a holiday where I could sit on my arse and read a book for 10 days is now like a kind of like sort of Nirvana style heaven Valhalla situation of like, this is what I want of the perfect holiday. And that won't happen for a while because I have a little boy and the little boy needs to go and do we need to go do family stuff. But just sitting and you're like, that's something to look forward to. But I think as a younger man, I'm like out pounding the tiles. What else was I going to say?
Well, we've got the big news of your Soho run, your successful second Soho run.
Yes.
I've had a great time.
We both separately met your mother.
Let's circle back. I'm having a great time. It's good to be home for me. I've been away a lot. I was saying to my wife, I've been doing my radio show. I've been doing that. It's like kind of like a very intense, but a very special time of year. And I'm like, I said to my wife, like, I'm like, just for 1 week, like somebody that's people listen to in that room for that week. And I come home and obviously instantly disrespected by my son. Instantly.
Have you Googled how to get your son to respect you?
No, but I think the answer is like probably raising my voice.
No, it's probably just like fighting, physical like prowess, stuff like that.
No, it's not this. This isn't the answer. The answer's cuddles and stuff. And the answer is being a force of just pure benign love, no matter how badly he decides to treat me.
Okay, I'm going to do it now. How to get son to respect Chris. Right.
Oh, that was a little face there,
Right.
Chris.
Truly great kid, but zero respect for me most of the time. Doesn't listen to what I say. Blah, 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 blah.
Is this Chris's Twitter?
No, this is Reddit. I immediately went to Reddit, obviously, because Google's not good. Yeah.
I heard a thing that was in passing on another podcast that was basically saying the internet doesn't work. Like, it doesn't work like it used to do. When you search for things, you used to get information, relevant searches. Now you don't. So basically the guy who was listening to was saying that there's an ascendancy of Reddit because it is the closest thing that you will get to people discussing a topic and providing solutions.
This is it. I've got it here.
So it's always quite high up on the list, and people of our age will more frequently go in there.
Well, I was just going to say, Chris, that podcast might have been an episode of Lawmen podcast, my other podcast, that Sunil guested on the other day because we had that very conversation. It's probably going to be in the extras, to be honest.
And can you tell me what he did? Did he promote anything while he was on there?
Did he promote this one? No, absolutely. You refused to. I had to bring it up myself.
That's not true.
In his introduction, I was like, he's on other podcasts.
What are we going to do?
And he was like, I don't like to talk about them.
What are we going to do? Are we going to fall out with him about it? No.
Guys, did it get promoted or didn't it?
It did get there was promotion was made.
Right. First of all, respect yourself.
Okay.
Next, stop being passive. Do not repeat yourself 10 times. Say it, mean it, enforce it. Your son's choices have consequences and they are immediate. If he does not do what he is asked in an appropriate manner and amount of time, he is choosing a consequence for making the choice to not follow your instructions.
I'm all about consequences, do you know what I mean? Put your shoes away, doesn't do it, instantly microwave the Nintendo Switch. Do you know what I mean?
Worryingly, Snow used your voice that you use for them 38 rules guy.
Yeah, same vibe. It just feels serious. Like when someone does it in bullet points, you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
Tonally, yeah.
Become a detective of the bedtime.
Let's double back on, obviously, you both came to my Soho show different days. I don't know whether there's a rift going on.
I was unavailable.
Good to see you both. Very good to see you both. Those after show bits are sort of not a nightmare. You just have to, it's like a wedding where everyone's there to see you and stuff. So you have to do you know what I mean? I have to navigate. Guy that I did open mic comedy with.
Hello.
Not you, another guy. Guy who did open mic comedy with a group of people that I used to work with 15 years ago. And you're like, that's just a tough conversation to navigate, to wrangle, to be do you know what I mean? Because then I'm having to explain all the backstories and stuff like that of who's who. So it's just intense. Spencer Jones said to me what he called it, the show after the show. That's always stuck with me.
Did you also have to explain the finances behind doing comedy?
No, you don't want to do. No, I don't do that because people don't need to know that. Do you know what I mean? Nobody wants to see the Oompa Loompas in the staff canteen. That's my take on it. Because you don't want to see them sad arguing about the pay stubs, do you? Like,
you're right.
You have to be like to the public perception. If comedians talk about gigging and the metrics of it and the money of it, you just I don't want to say that everybody in the audience wants you to be happy and successful at this job for what you're doing. Anything that deviates from that, I think fundamentally, I find it quite boring. As you would do with back of house admin.
Yeah.
And yet we made a feature of it on this podcast.
That's why we are different. We're rule breakers. We're rule breakers and we know as audience.
But we did get to meet your mum separately.
Yeah, you did.
And she separately told us some things about the podcast.
Yes. I did not realise they're listening. Hello.
She listens. This is the only way she gets any information out of me about my life. I think we all know each other. Well, they certainly feel they know me a lot more now that I just spill my. But my mum done like when we talk. I don't know. It sort of has the air of an interrogation a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? I don't see her for 2 weeks and then she'll show up. Or more than that, and she'll show up and what I'll get is like a Gatling gun of questions. Do you know what I mean? And it does sort of eventually beat you into submission into yes or no answers.
I did get.
Have you sorted this out? Yes. Have you done that? No, not yet, but we're going to do it soon.
I got a bollocking about referring to Bradford as a suburb of Leeds. Yeah. And I didn't stop.
Yeah. She was like, I need to. She showed up in London, middle of London. She's like, is he here? I need to have a chat with him. And I went, he's just at a bar or something like that. And she's like, right. And then she also ended up chatting to her television's Rosie Jones for ages on the night after. And then after she was like, Rosie's a big fan of you and a big fan of Amy. Maybe not so much of you. Maybe not so much of you together. I was like, I don't know whether we needed that bit in.
Well, she told me to stop you from ranting on this podcast.
What does that mean?
Well, you tell me.
I've created a safe space for me to go on.
You're raising your voice again.
I can only tell you down for us, not on the recording.
I'm trying to keep a lid on it. I've created a safe space for me to go on a 35-minute rant about rural taxi drivers, and people have responded to it, Mother. It was nice. It is lovely to see him. Every minute is precious. That's the official line. No, it was great. I tell you what, they're easy. We've been doing this for so long. And because I used to live in London, they're not easy looked after. They're busy. Do you know what I mean? They're like, we're going here, we're going there, and then we sort of see them for a bit later. And then I'm like, I'm doing this in the day. Maybe meet at this time, like that sort of thing. So yeah, largely stress free. But she was there. She said something really nice. Not really nice, but like because like doing my tour and stuff like that, which is going very well. Like we've sold out Leeds, Manchester, Bristol's very good. But I'm saying like some of the smaller places and stuff like this, it's like basically if you like you sold like because she's done it all. and how she would be like do very big tours, but when she does smaller rounds, just basically a mindset shift of like, oh, there's only 30 people here. Which you would normally be, like heart sink. But it's like, no. There's 30 people who paid money to come and see you. And she also said that what she will often do when she starts a gig is find the person who's loving it and then perform it directly to them. And I don't think that's some mad revelation, but it is an interesting mindset shift to what I think most comedians do, which is find the person that's got their arms folded and not necessarily enjoying it and zoning on them.
Try and break them, yeah.
Remember them 10 years later.
Yeah. And so it was good. It was a great time. Had a brilliant week. What else did I do?
Are you going back? Is that the run done? You're doing another one?
That's the run done. I'm back in London very soon to do a couple more days on it. The radio show.
When's the radio show out?
Sometime in March, to be confirmed.
Well, mine isn't actually finished yet because Chris got in the way of it, so I've got to go in for a couple more days. He took out 5 minutes of the producer's day at one point, which I think was crucial to the smooth running of the edit. So, yeah, mine's out in February, hopefully. Joe, put in a couple of AK-47 noises as well.
Joe, can you put a couple of AK-47 noises in here? Like, ding-a-ding-a-ding-a. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a. Do you know what I'm very excited about? We're going to meet Joe at the live show.
Yes.
Which is now sold out.
Boom. Standing room only. No, that's sold out.
Sold out 2 months in advance. This podcast is a phenomenon. That's what people are saying. In this, Sunil.
I simply must know.
This podcast is a phenomenon.
I simply must know if you're going to drive some tray bakes down for that or not.
I am.
You definitely are.
Because... I suppose this is a bit of a spoiler. We've got a couple of special guests. One of them is going to be in the audience, Andy, who runs the house.
Shout out, Andy.
Andy, who runs the tea rooms in my village, who is famously makes exciting tray bakes.
He's going to be there with Avec Tray Bake.
Avec Tray Bake is going to bring a couple of different kinds for the interval.
And I assume we're all wearing suits for this?
Well, we need to talk about this. I think I wear like outdoorsy clothes, and I think you wear like, do you know, like a polo neck sort of jumper with pearls. Do you know what I mean? Like classy. Pearl and leather gloves. And I wear like I've got a walking stick and a map.
Right, okay, fine.
And what have I got?
What do you want to wear? I think they have to know that you are like the producer. So maybe if you're wearing like earphones, do you know that kid in E.T.?
No, I've not seen E.T.
Do you know there's one of the kid in E.T.s who wears a big pair of headphones when he's riding the bikes?
Oh, yeah. That's E.T.
No, it's not E.T. James in E.T.
E.T.'s got the big headphones on, hasn't he? Should we swerve into letters? Because we haven't done letters for ages.
Yes. Okay.
We need a letter. What time do you actually have to leave, Chris?
I'm all right. It's loose and flexible.
I do want to know about Chris's pub quiz persona.
We'll come back on that. We've talked about quizzes before. I'm going to come back with the results next time we're recording.
Okay, yeah. All right. How many people are in your team? Just give us a few things to set it up to.
4 of us, I believe. It's me. Well, 10. Like me, Nicola.
Yeah.
My friend Dave, his wife Ola. I don't know whether Ola wants a tattoo from me yet. We're going to see how that goes. And our children are going to be sat glued to electronic devices till about 10 o'clock at night. Packet of crisps. Classic.
Bottle of Coke with a straw in. Yes.
Exactly. One bottle's allowed, one fizzy drink a night.
Is there a pool table?
Not in this pub, no. It's shaped.
Just banging the white up and down an empty pool table. That is my childhood.
It's shaped like an L.
That's New Year's Eve's 1987 to 1993.
It's New Year's Eve for that's like the childhood. It's my childhood for children of pissheads, really, isn't it? But like it was. I don't look back on that. I look at the back of that very fondly.
I remember at 12:05, the pub character bursting out the toilet with a Johnny over his head that he blew up using his nose until it popped. We made our own entertainment.
You can do that tonight, Chris.
I think there's like, I remember going in a local pub. I mean, it's probably, but that cocaine would have entered the mix. It's now so common I remember going in a local pub.
As a child?
No, back then there wasn't cocaine.
No, not as a child. Now pubs are shit. Now, I remember like going into toilets. This is like a few years ago, but in Bradford, in like what was once a nice pub, and then the owners changed. It just sort of went down skids, and I went in, and there was this big lad like doing coke in the middle of the toilet, and I was like, the lad was like older than me, so I would have put the lad in his like early to mid 40s, and you're like, we are still young. That is definitely the vibe of this podcast. But we are also in a bracket of people that should really be thinking about their heart. Do you know what I mean? And not doing a load of cheap whiz. I can't get my head around it. But you know what? Fair play.
Well, I think it's very addictive.
It's pathetic to be a cokehead in your 40s.
You can't edit that out, James. That's true.
No. I'm not gonna. It's just he's coming large. He's coming hard. He's going out hot.
Leave that in, Joe, with some AK-47s.
Chris, have you got a pub quiz team name?
No, and I hope that they don't make us, because I can't. I famously don't have it in me to pun.
Well, just come up with one now. Nothing's going to happen between now and then.
Well, it's a group decision, though, isn't it? I can't just go in.
Bring some stuff to the table.
I can't go in and say, me and my two mates have decided that we need to be called...
Getting down to quizness.
Getting down to quizness? Oh, that's brilliant.
Quizakabusi.
Can we have getting down to quizness, please?
Yeah, of course you can. It's my go-to pub quiz team name. If they won't let me do team win. Yeah, just team win. There's no pun. It's just really cocky.
Those guys rolling in second to bottom.
Yeah.
I find it's that I love quizzes a lot until the moment someone steamrolls over me, and then I want to sulk and go home.
It's a shame because there's nothing you can tip over, is there? It's not like a board game.
Yeah, just like when someone's adamant that you're wrong and then you're right. That's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. Well, we'll do more on pub quizzes when we get the results, I guess. Let's have a letter.
I'll do a couple of them back to back, just because obviously there was Greasy Gate, which it's become known, which is, it went a bit mad because producer James was telling a story and kept saying greasy with an S, but pronounced it with a Z, like greasy, like that. It drove me mad. I think Sunil's the same. That's what he messaged me privately in WhatsApp. He messaged me privately to say that obviously it went mad, and I was like, why do you do that? And then, but basically a lot of people have told us where this has come from.
Well, because I knew it was a reference to something, it was a reference to some sort of comedy. It was rattling around my head, and it's fun to say it like that. And most of the things I do and say are because they're fun to say like that. But this was a reference to a thing, but I couldn't remember what.
So, Sunil, do you want to read those? We've got 2 emails under the top email section.
Let me read for you email number 1. Hi, lads. Please let James know, if he hasn't remembered it himself already, that he is pronouncing greasy that way because of Rich Fulcher in The Mighty Boosh. I think it's when he's playing the ape of death before he uses Naboo's miracle wax. Cheers, Jay.
His hair is about this wavy hair, which is the sort of hair that I have.
And is that true, James?
Yes. If I wash it, it becomes too frizzy. If I leave it, it becomes greasy.
Second email. For producer James, Rich Fulcher says it about his hair in Mighty Boosh. Great podcast. All the best, Joshua.
Thanks, Joshua. Thanks, Jay.
It's good to have the gaps plugged in. We won't search it. We won't search for it. We won't do it. It's vibes-based podcast.
Is that more hair-related? Is that more hair-related jibes that have the gaps plugged in? What's going on here? Is this an intervention?
If we go to Turkey together, we've done this before.
We'll be sat on the beach sipping pina coladas, upright, bolt upright.
Bolt upright, soft lighting overhead, like
donut-shaped rings to sit on for our BBLs.
I'll stay in that pool for 2 weeks. Just push me around.
Having kebabs and cocktails all week. Right, should we do another letter? Or is that enough for the letters this week? Because we've got a backlog now.
I got told about a letter that you've been ignoring, Chris.
Go on then.
A listener said that they sent in a they'd asked AI to generate a Christmas story as told by...
And ignored it.
Whoa, he's coming in hot again.
I'm not coming in hot. I'm keeping a respect. I'm being respectful, so you should all be respectful to me. It's only since we recorded. It's only come in this week.
Oh, okay. They were worried that they'd offended you in some way.
Oh God, no! I'm just behind on the backlog. Can we save? It's actually kind of cool. Can we save that one for the next one?
Is next one will be the proper Christmas episode?
It'll be the one after.
I could read it now. It's quite meaty. The
thing is, we rarely have time for the meaty ones because, like, one of us has gone off on something and it's taken us 20 minutes to get it back on track.
Who's that?
Who's that?
I can't say. I won't name names.
Well, we'll have a bit of a plan next time because I've got a letter in here as well.
Basically, you're not offended by the letter. We're saving it for Christmas special.
I'm not. I'm just a bit, just like catching up and trying to. I've been away. Do you know what? I've been in Peak District this week as well. We need to come back on that as well. I met a Canadian who lives in a village just like me called Rob Rouse.
Oh, yeah.
And he's lovely. He's such a nice man. And I've been doing gigs for him in these villages in the Peak District. But he's like basically living a life that I thought I was living, but I'm not even touching the sides. Do you know what I mean? He's a lovely man. He doesn't have any active feuds on the go.
What?
Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit...
What does he do then?
But he runs a series. He does a lot of stuff. He's a very good comedian, but he runs his own gigs up and down the Peak District in like this village hall circuit, and they're lovely. I've had such a great time.
No, but I mean, instead of active feuds, he just gets on with people.
Well, he just is friends with everybody. He's a nice man. He hadn't fallen out with parish council. He hadn't fallen out with Domino's Club. Do you know what I mean? He's just a nice man who's sort of friends with everybody.
A lesson for us all there for this Christmas episode.
And am I doing it wrong? Am I doing the countryside wrong? Just rowing with pensioners all the time?
No, you're absolutely fine. What time does pub quiz start? How long does it take you to get there door to door?
Door to door, we're looking at 4 minutes. It's just
Where's the pizza?
They've got a pizza oven now, apparently.
In the pub?
Apparently so. It's going places. I'll tell you what they've also got. There's a lot of fights in there, apparently.
That's good.
Because of the quiz?
I don't know. I tell you what it is.
I liked Val Kilmer in True Romance. Bang.
I tell you what it is. The other pub, which I've talked about before, which is the Farmers Pub, where the people aren't necessarily overly nice, but they've sort of accepted us, which comes with a huge feeling of achievement. In that pub, order is wielded by some very, very big rural lads with mullets. We're just families that are in there having 2 guineas of a Sunday. We are under their purview. We are not annoying anybody. But they're basically, I think, would be ones for keeping an eye on anyone titting about. Without these lads present in the new pub, there's like more rooks and stuff in it. And I said to Nicola, you wouldn't act the silly beggar down there, would you?
Is she starting the ruck?
She's starting the fights, yeah.
That's very interesting with regards to the countryside because, that's what deer are doing without an apex predator.
Yeah, exactly. They're acting like silly buggers in the new community pub. Thank you for listening to Rural Concerns. We hope you've had some laughs as well as learning something.
If you want to support the podcast, then go on to patreon.com/rural concerns, where you can chuck us a few quid and you get a load more episodes and stuff. And you get to be our friends and you get access to a Discord server where everyone's like slagging me off and talking about USB chargers.
Not just you. They're slagging James off too. No, they're all right. They're good lads. They sort of help each other out with stuff. I dip in when I can. There's some good stuff going on in there. There's some good, I tell you what, they're a highly cultural bunch. So there's like good film recommendations and documentaries and stuff that's coming out of that group that I'm adding to a little list.
Another way to support us would be to leave us a 5-star review on whatever your podcast method of catching is.
You can do it on Apple, you can do it on Spotify now.
You can leave comments on Spotify now.
You can have a chat with us on Spotify. We'll say hello. But just a reminder that if you do leave us a review, it has to be 5 stars. Because if it's not 5 stars, then what will happen is you'll be bundled into a van by some goons and then forced to watch every single second of Guy Ritchie's Revolver.
On Blu-ray.
Someone will be sat next to you explaining how it's all about Kabbalah.
And how it's actually very clever.
It's actually quite clever, actually.
Our music is by Sam O'Leary and our artwork is by Poppy Hillstead. Rural Concerns was edited by Joseph Blue Sky Burrows and it's produced by Egg Mountain for a Lovely Time Productions.
AK-47s.
See us out, Joe.
Da-da-da-da-da.
What is going on in the background of one of your calls?
It's not me. Is this why you like normally it's quite hard? We'll start at 8 o'clock, and now I can say why.
The kids had a friend round, and I came back from work, and I think my wife's given them speed.
Bong. Like that.